Gabbie Hanna and Trisha Paytas are going at it yet again. And this time, Trisha Paytas is completely over it.
What is the tea? The girls are fighting!
If you guys have watched my previous video on Gabbie Hanna, then you would know how this past week she has been getting bashed on all over social media for the way she was acting towards multiple influencers, calling many people out left and right out of nowhere, which eventually led someone to comment this on one of her TikToks after she went viral. Someone said she's trying to be the next Trisha Paytas, and how I can't stop seeing that. Gabbie ended up responding to this comment since we all know her and Trisha haven't been on good terms ever since their fallout, and obviously she was not going to stand a chance with someone comparing her to Trisha. I'm like Trisha Paytas if she was talented and happy. Another comment that Gabbie ended up responding to was, "Are you becoming like Trisha for some clout?" To which Gabbie responded back, completely bashing Trisha by saying, "I hope not. Oh my god, me first." This was when Gabbie started to stir up even more drama by going on a live stream to call Trisha a fake and a liar in front of all her followers.
Yeah, I know. She's a fake bitch. She, after the podcast was acting like, "I'm so happy that our beef is squashed." And then she went and lied about how the podcast was edited, but I'm just going to release the full podcast because, the parts that I removed out of the podcast were the parts where I was confronting her with the evidence that she was lying. So fucking annoying. She's actually obsessed with me.
Now, the reason Gabbie has been calling Trisha a liar is because of the whole incident they had when they tried squashing their beef a few weeks ago in Gabbie's podcast, where, according to Trisha, Gabbie claimed that the day after she filmed her podcast with Trisha, she admitted that the stories that Gabbie was telling Trisha didn't actually happen, and that they were all lies. I blocked her everywhere because I have no interest in the back and forth with someone delusional not seeking help. She voice memoed me the next day. I have it of her admitting the stories she tried to convince me that happened, in fact, did not happen. Gabbie ended up trying to defend herself, saying Trisha said in her 2 videos, once again calling me a liar, that she no longer had that voice note. If she was lying then or now, who knows, it's impossible to tell with a pathological liar. I do have it. You'll all hear it soon enough. So, y'all are probably wondering who was telling the truth here. And lo and behold, just a day later, Trisha had enough of Gabbie slamming her all over the internet for these past few days, to which Trisha decided to just drop the voice memo of Gabbie confirming that she did end up lying about her story on the podcast.
This is all part of a show and she's doing this for attention or something, and if that's the case and that's the route she wants to go, I'm not going to judge her for that. But she's calling me a liar and stuff. Here's the voice memos. The next day she sent these to me.
Oh, and I also wanted to quickly say the things that I was wrong about, because since I couldn't sleep last night, this was all I was thinking about. I just was kind of checking for myself. Something I was wrong about was we definitely did not have Thanksgiving plans. I went back and looked at that, and I definitely inflated that in my head, where it was more just I think you were spending Thanksgiving with Sean's family, and I said none of my friends were in town. You're like, "Oh my god, I wish I knew. I would have just stayed home and we could have eaten together."
So that's when I knew I just wanted to distance myself from her. We weren't friends, and I don't know what else to say. She was just trying to convince me we were, and I was just like, but we weren't. And then she's like, "I saw it different," and I was like, okay.
Trisha later went on a huge rant all over Twitter explaining why Gabbie needs some serious help. Okay, this pissed me off. At Gabbie Hanna, you're all about empowering women, but damn, you take any chance to on someone, don't you? She's a lovely human, isn't she? I made a video trying to give her some redeeming qualities to see her keep posting and remaining creative, and she did this. Gabbie is a very delusional person. I truly am this secret fan of her content, but she tried to convince me for hours that we had exchanges that never happened. To me, I don't want to go back and forth with someone who needs help but won't get it. Yet another mental breakdown for her is upsetting to me. I went on her podcast trying to do a restart for both her and me, and it just sadly didn't happen. She's not just defending herself, she's being obsessive and defensive over the wrong stuff. I did a whole video this week on how I want to see Gabbie have a redemption arc. I want to see her thrive. She has such a unique take on her art, it's different, and more people would be open to it if she wasn't so destructive. There's no shame in seeking help. I go 3 times a week to group and individual therapy. I have a lot of mental health struggles coming at me daily. The key is to seek help and not take it out on others. That said, Gabbie has been a victim of some serious online from David Dobrik and a few others. Serious issues that people feel for her on. Wish she would use her voice to stand up for that which is actually bullshit in her and not just at people who don't like her poetry. I don't take it personal. I've been there. I sadly know what she's going through, and I say that out of empathy and nothing else. Just take a look at what Gabbie had to say.
Trisha Paytas is upset that I called her untalented, even though she's allowed to have an opinion about me. She says everyone can have an opinion. She has an opinion about my music. But what's this? You're making fun of me online, you hypocritical fake.
Hey Trish, good morning. I also was hoping that we were going to move on after the podcast. I was really looking forward to that. But then the same day that the podcast went up, you posted 2 videos within an hour of each other calling me a liar and trying to make me look like a crazy delusional person and gaslighting me like a lot. So I'm just going to show the evidence that you're lying. You were a much, much different person to my face than you were on camera, and a much different person than you're being now. So I'm just tired of you being a lying, manipulative, vindictive, exploitative bitch because you're afraid of what I know about you. As far as Thanksgiving, I wasn't exactly right. You just said that you were gonna stay home and that you should have, and we could have just eaten together. So no, you didn't invite me to Thanksgiving, but I got that fact a little bit mixed up because that's what happens when somebody that you haven't been friends with for a long time keeps dragging you into their fucking mess online. Sorry about that. But since I was looking through all of our conversations from 2016 to 2019, I thought it would be fun to show everybody the friendship that you said didn't exist, despite the fact that I have years of text messages saved between us. I don't know why you lie like this. You're a really, really mean, malicious person. Like, what are you so afraid? Well, I know what you're so afraid of, and so will everybody soon.
Anyways, I definitely want to know what you guys think about this whole situation. Who do you think was in the wrong here? Definitely let me know in the comments down below. I love you all so much, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.